Good evening, good evening. Welcome everyone to the Leadership TKO Live Night Show. It's Lakeisha McKnight, your leadership specialist, wealth mentor, author of a few books, and most importantly, your friend. And so we're live on the podcast platforms, and we are about to go live on Facebook. Stand by. All right. Well, good evening, everybody. Hello, and good evening to all of you out there on Facebook. We're live right now already on the podcast platform. And so I do want to welcome all of you who are on Facebook to the Leadership TKO Live Night Show. I'm praying and hoping that you had an amazing Saturday. It is Saturday, October the 3rd of 2020. And we're here for the night show that airs every single evening, somewhere between 7 and 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we try to definitely stream right here on Facebook and also on the podcast platforms out there. So welcome to the show, everybody. I am your leadership specialist, your wealth mentor, author of a few books, but most importantly, your friend. And so listen, I'm going to share with you a couple of ways by which you can participate with this particular session. So number one, you can like or love the stream. If you're looking forward to growing yourself as a leader, because the purpose of this show is to really empower you all with what you need, your ability to truly grow your influence, your impact, and your income. We're helping you to win from the inside out. That is exactly what we're here to do. And so if you're really looking to grow yourself as a leader, enhance your influence, your impact, grow your income, you are in the right place at the right time. And so I welcome each and every one of you here. And I'm hoping that you've had a pleasant day. I've had a pleasant day, a long day, right? What is one thing? Let's do something different tonight as we start up. What is one thing that you've learned today? I'm going to challenge you all, because I believe that if you're not learning something new every day, then you're not expanding yourself. And so share with me in the comment section, because that's another way to engage. Not just like or love the stream, but another way to engage is leaving comments, engaging, providing your thoughts below. So what is that one thing that you've learned today? What I've come to learn today is that I have a love for riding on boats. And what's going to be added to my vision board, and it's not just inspired by some of my wealth building family members out there, but because I went on a boat ride with my family, we were out on a boat ride for 4 hours. 4 hours on the water. Hello. It was just so beautiful, crystalline. The water was just still. There are certain parts where, there were some waves and such, and that's because we have some speed boats going by. And so it left that little wave going on that we had to go through. But we had an amazing time, a lot of laughter, okay, and just memories that you definitely want to have with your family. And so what is one thing that you've learned? Again, I've learned that I have a liking for boats, and that's going to be added to my vision board. I do want a boat. And my husband, of course, he was there, and we both agreed on that liking of wanting to have a boat. And so now the McKnights is going to have a boat. Okay. And so we're going to go riding and things of that nature. I actually love speedboats as well, and jet skis. If you're wanting to figure out what is it that she likes on the water. I like jet skis. I like speedboats. I like all of it. And I guess it's because of the thrill of it. And I just love water. I love the beach. Anybody that knows me or getting to know me, you probably have heard me talk about the beach. So there you have it. Just wanted to put that out there. And then also share this stream out to those you care about, those you love. And so as I've asked you to do that, I'm going to go ahead and do that myself. Now I'm looking at my phone, and I want to make sure, of course, that I have enough power. I've been out all day to the point where, we're low on power here. So let's see if I can do it. If I can do it, I'm going to try to share it to a few places. Bear with me a bit. Again, so I'm going to love the stream myself. I'm going to share this onto my fan page. And yes, I'm looking down on my device just in case you're wondering, what in the world is she looking at? I'm also going to share it to possibly 1 to 2 groups. Okay, 1 to 2 groups. So there's one that I'm sharing it in. And then I'm also going to share it to yet another. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to share it to yet another group out there. Here we go. Perfect. Got to get this juiced up. But anywho, listen, at the very beginning of this session, normally I provide some leadership development content that serves as an appetizer. Okay, I want to give you something good to munch on, right? Good to munch on. And so let's talk about the appetizer. You all know that over the last couple of days, I've been really giving you some great content from this baby right here. And this is Attitude 101 by Dr. John Maxwell. So here's yet another great resource you want to add to your library. You want to read it, not just add it to your library, but you want to read it, devour it, apply the concepts, the content to your lives. And listen, if I have any Winner's Circle family tuning in, feel free to also share it in our chat, because I know if I try to go back in the device, again, got to get that thing juiced up. So with that being said, there is a great chapter in this book, the second chapter. He asks the question, how does attitude impact an individual? How does an attitude impact an individual? He says, your attitude and your potential go hand in hand. Did you know that? Your attitude and your potential goes hand in hand. So what is attitude? You know, how do you put your finger on it, he says? He says, attitude is an inward feeling expressed by behavior. Attitude is an inward feeling expressed by behavior. That is why an attitude can be seen without a word being said. I like to think about it when in terms of scripture. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So I can tell the type of person you possibly are by what you're saying. Okay, what I'm observing, what you're saying, I can tell. Okay, so be mindful of that. Be mindful. There's a couple of points that he makes in this chapter that's extremely powerful, because he says there are about 7 axioms, he calls it. Axioms, or I should say elements, about attitude to help you better understand how it truly impacts a person's life. And he goes into the 7. Now, I may mention 1 or 2 tonight, but I definitely plan on continuing this, on tomorrow night. So here is the first attitude axiom, he says. He says, our attitude determines our approach to life. Our attitude really determines our approach to life. He says our attitude tells us what we expect from life. And I believe that that's so true. Because if you're expecting the best, if your mindset is that of abundance, that's going to attract wealth, or, it's going to attract abundance into your life, then that's the type of attitude that you're going to portray. That's the type of words you're going to speak. You're going to speak words that speak of and that express abundance and wealth and having more than enough instead of lack. Okay. And so you never want to necessarily associate with individuals that constantly speak of what they don't have instead of being grateful for what they do have. Okay, be grateful for what you do have. Speak those things into your life that you're looking forward to attracting to you. Okay, what is it that you're looking forward to attracting? And that can go for a variety of things, and not just wealth, but it can go towards many other aspects of life, period, including relationships. For all of you ladies and gents who are looking to potentially be with your ideal mate sometime in the future, you want to. Here's the one point that I noticed when I was coming up as a kid. I didn't stress about it. I didn't harp over it. I used to always think, if it happened, it happened. I didn't try to make it happen. Once I let go, instead of trying to make things happen when it comes to relationships, it just happened. It just happened. And so just like, for example, when trying to expand the family, don't focus on it so much. When it happens, it happens. And it just eases the stress too. Okay. So again, our attitude determines our approach to life. I honestly believe that God will bring those things into your life. This is my attitude towards life. He'll bring those things into your life that he would want you to have. Especially the things that he thinks that you're going to need to complete your assignment. Otherwise, it may not come because you might not need it. Okay? It's all about his plan. That's just my perception. It's about his plan. Now, here's yet another point beyond that first axiom. The second axiom that John Maxwell mentions, he says, our attitude determines our relationships with people. Our attitude determines our relationship with people. He says, all of life is impacted by your relationships with people, yet establishing relationships is difficult. You can't get along with some people, and you can't make it without them. That's why it is essential to build proper relationships with others in our crowded world. Okay, so again, it's all about the relationships you are building. I am building relationships with like-minded individuals who are seeking to establish a legacy. Now, here is the truth. We all know that you probably are going to bond even closer with some individuals versus others. We know that to be true, right? Right. And so I believe that relationships are key, and it's all about your attitude because it depends on the type of person, but for me, again, I know I affiliate with those individuals who are really looking forward to just doing more and being more. It doesn't mean that they always have to be a level or 2 or 3 ahead of me, but as long as you're trying to do more and be more, that's a key factor for me. All right. But yes, within my circle of people that I am connected to very closely, those individuals may be a step or 2 ahead of me. Okay. They may be. And that's because you don't want to be the smartest person in the bunch. Okay. You don't want to be the wealthiest person in the bunch either. All right. So, and that's how I look at it. I'd rather be associated, especially if you're trying to get to reach certain levels, financially and have a certain level of cash flow. Yes. I'm going to be associated with 7-figure, 8-figure earning professionals. And it may not be the case that all of them are there, but the good number of them, okay, may be there. And so that is just where I may be, but you have to think about that for yourself. Where are you when it comes to the individuals you're connected with, affiliated with, as far as their attitude and what they're looking forward to accomplishing in life? Think about that for yourself. All right. So that was axiom number 2. Our attitude determines our relationships with people. And to be honest, like there's some people like you wouldn't want to be around because of their attitude. They may have like the worst attitude ever. That's going to repel people away, not, want people to hang around you. And that's just me. Do you all agree with that? If someone has the worst attitude, you can kind of sense it. They're just disgruntled. They're not happy. You're like, I don't want to be around that. And then you just kind of retreat. You ever wonder why? And of course, your circle is going to get smaller and smaller if there are people who are not thinking the way that you're thinking. If you're thinking legacy minded, if you're wealth building, if you have a mindset focused on wealth building, there's some people around you that may still be focusing on debt. You're not necessarily going in the same direction. If you are someone who is an entrepreneur and you're business driven, then people who are talking about getting a job constantly, you might not connect with them as easily. Or at least you'll find yourself, attracting individuals who are business minded. And that's fine because you're in a different season of your life. Okay. And I realized that for myself. My circle became smaller and smaller and smaller. All right. Really small, which is fine. It's really been like that for some time. And that's simply because I honestly believe that God does not necessarily want me to be affiliated with individuals that's going to really distract from his assignment. If they're going to be individuals that's going to hinder me from doing what he's called me to do, I've noticed that he's removed them. Okay, so if you're connected, there's a reason why we're connected. I wholeheartedly believe it. If we are connected, there is a reason why we are connected. All right? And so let's transition, and I'm hoping that you've enjoyed the appetizer. Okay, I'm hoping that you've enjoyed the appetizer because now it's time to move on to the main meal. I'm excited about this main meal. We've been focusing in on this main meal for some time. Okay, and that is, of course, The Business of the 21st Century. I absolutely love this book. Now, there's another book we're going to dive into. I don't know if I actually have it nearby right now. But you all are going to be like, yes, we're diving into that book. But yeah, we're actually winding down on this particular book. There may be just a few more nuggets, perhaps just this session left, before we dive into yet another source. And I know a lot of you are like, well, why is she reflecting upon different books? Because the truth of the matter is, it doesn't matter whose stream you're watching. Most of the content is just repurposed. It's reworded to sound brand new, and it's not. There's nothing new under the sun. Everything has been reworded in some way, shape, or form, and people are just sharing information. That's all we're doing. Sharing information so that not only it's not about us, but it's also about you growing and expanding beyond where you are. And sometimes the information we share may cause you to feel uncomfortable, but that's fine because the only way you're going to grow is in a space where you're not comfortable. When you're comfortable, there's no movement. You're like, oh, I'm good. You ever heard that before? I'm good. But when you're not comfortable and someone's rubbed you the wrong way, said something that just like, that sounds like me, that's where you need to remain planted and see, why do you feel that way? Like, man, she's causing me to think about certain things. That's a good place to be in. Don't retreat from that. Embrace that and find out, why are you feeling the way that you feel based on the information shared with you. Okay. Now in this book, I want to say, let me see if this is not the last chapter, but chapter number 19 in this particular book, Robert Kiyosaki goes into talking about, what it doesn't take versus also what it does take to be successful or have a successful network marketing business. And so I'm going to talk to you first and foremost and highlight the things he shares about the things you should not do and what it really does not take to be successful. Let's talk about what it doesn't take to be successful in network marketing. Number one, he says, you don't need an MBA, a master's in business administration, or a high-powered business background to be successful in network marketing. You don't. Now, why is that? The reason is, within this model of business, you're going to learn essential skills that anyone can learn, whether you've gone to a formal institution or not. You're going to learn it gradually. And most of these concepts are not necessarily learned in a formal institution or educational system. It's not learned there. You're really, truly going to find it in the network marketing model of business. So no, you do not need a formal degree, because really a formal degree, to be honest with you, it's going to give you some debt. So if you're just taking out loans to get a business degree, I'm going to tell you to wait and go be involved in network marketing. You're going to learn more about business and network marketing than you would in getting a formal education. That's just my opinion. Just my opinion. And the reason why I say this is because I have a formal degree, and not just one degree. I have several degrees. And I went to the school of entrepreneurship, and I'm going to tell you this, okay? I've learned so much more in network marketing than pursuing a doctoral degree in entrepreneurship. That should tell you something. Now, I do have about a year left in that program, but I'm going to tell you one thing. Again, I dropped out for various reasons. Okay, that's a whole nother session. All right. But I've learned so much more in the network marketing model of business than, of course, pursuing that degree. So I just want to put that out there for you. All right. Here's another point. Robert Kiyosaki says you don't have to be great at sales. You do have to be great at understanding the system provided to you by your company that you're plugged into, and how to keep it simple to share information, because that's what you're doing. Now, some people say they like to use the word, I'm just simply sharing information. I'm not selling. But the truth of the matter is, you're selling something. You're selling people on the infinite possibilities of their lives and the power of their dreams. You're selling people on never giving up, because it really truly is a noble cause. You are selling them on their dreams, their why they need to be plugged in to this industry. You are selling. But when it comes to all of these elements from the formal educational system about sales, you don't necessarily need those things. Okay, you don't necessarily need those things. Again, when you get plugged into your network marketing company, you're going to understand they should be connecting you to training. And there should be excellent trainers to show you what you need to do and what you should not be doing. The right way to do things, the right way to share information, invite people to a presentation, the right way to follow up. These are skills that you all would need. Okay? See, it's not that you have to be great at sales. Okay, before you went to get that degree, did you know anything truly about that topic or that field? Okay, did you understand anything truly about it? Because the truth of the matter is, you don't know. Okay, you don't know much about that field of study. And of course, I'm turning off this phone because it's trying to talk to me. You don't know much about that field. So that's the truth. You don't really understand a lot about it until you actually get involved and you pursue the degree. So you learn as you earn. You don't have to sit there and try to know everything. I know that's a sidebar, but it's for somebody out here. Don't sit there and wait and think, I got to get all the information. I got to learn it first. I got to learn and get before you take action. Listen, money loves speed. I should say it this way. Cash loves speed because cash is not money. So cash loves speed. And so the longer you wait, you're delaying your cash flow. So it's really up to you. How fast do you want that cash flow? I'm just going to put that out there. I just had to say that. I don't know who that's for. You know, many of you are delaying your own cash flow because you're trying to learn everything. And also many of you are being distracted. That's another stream too. Here's another point that Robert Kiyosaki says that is not needed to be successful in this industry. He says, you don't need to quit your job. You can't tell people to go out there and quit their job. Go quit. Quit your job. And then how are they going to support their families? Are you going to be supporting them on a monthly basis? Don't quit your job. There's a proper way to do this. You may have an interest, a love for your company you're plugged into. Do things the right way. Let your cash flow build within that business, and then you're going to be able to replace the cash flow, the basic cash flow you need. And as it becomes consistent, then transition off of the job. Okay, there is wisdom you need to apply to this. Don't just quit the job. Okay, here's another point. You don't need to be rich or take out a second mortgage on your home. There are some people who try to do that. You don't have to be rich to plug in. Do you know, okay, there are certain opportunities, companies that says that there's no registration fee. Yes, even for example, the e-commerce company that I'm plugged into and many of my colleagues are plugged into, we don't need to have a fee to get started, right? You simply register online, get the link from someone, get your free wealth building account, no money needed at the front gate. And even if you're trying to make money, you still don't need to put money into it to make money because you can make money even coming in and registering for free. I'm going to drop it right there. Listen, what we have plugged into is just so awesome. You all need to be a part of this presentation. There's actually a presentation that's going to happen around 9 o'clock p.m. And I'm going to show you how to actually get plugged into it. But I wanted to put that out there for you. Now, here's something else you don't need to be successful in this industry. You don't need to be a genius at negotiation or a whiz at numbers. You don't need to know a whole lot about negotiation. Here's the thing. Numbers don't lie. Okay? Numbers don't lie, and you don't need to try to negotiate and persuade. I've had some people tell me, hey, I got to learn how to persuade people to get the products. I got to learn more about the product so I can persuade people. Hello? Depending on the product you have, why are you trying to persuade somebody? Hello, listen, that's too much work. It's stressful. And just like my girl, the comedian says, ain't nobody got time for that. Now, you all know I don't talk this way. But truly, ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. I don't have time to be trying to sit back and negotiate with you and say, well, if you do this, I'm going to do this for you. You either want it or you don't. I'm telling you, because if you put that example out there, they're going to feel as though they have to do it when they come on board. Whatever you do, you are teaching a lesson. You are being a model for those who come in after you that you sponsor. So be mindful of the actions you engage in, the words you speak, because if you're out there trying to persuade people to get involved, they're going to feel like they have to do the same thing, and they're not going to want any part of it. Your product should speak for itself. And most importantly, people want to see results. See, because, the primary product that I have, and as well as my colleagues, our product is money. Many people are out here selling jewelry. They're out here selling lotions and potions and milkshakes and clothing and all these different type of things, insurances and all this stuff to try to make money. But our product is money. We don't have to jump those hoops. We can get you the money quick, like immediately. You don't have to do a whole lot of stuff to get it. You simply exchange that cash. Well, I almost said that cash, which is trash, but you exchange the cash that's decreasing in value quickly. It's going down in value. You want to be able to get real money, gold, which is real money. Again, and as you hold it, it's going to appreciate. It's going to grow in value. Would you rather have something in your pocket, in your bank account, that's decreasing in purchasing power and value? Or would you like to be holding on and keeping and stacking something that's growing in value so that in a couple months or, years, it's worth even more? Which one would you rather have? And here's the truth. Can I just be honest? Some of you are plugged into the system and you're not doing anything. What you waiting on? I don't know how I'm even going in this direction. But what you can't do is plug into something and think that it's going to work, and you're not working it. You're not doing anything. I know I'm talking to someone. You're not doing anything. You're holding on to an account. There's nothing in it. Nothing in, nothing out. So again, I'm hoping, of course, I know this is truth talk right now, but you just can't sugarcoat certain things. You just got to say it. You just have to be honest. It is what it is. I want each and every one of you to succeed. And I'm quite sure my mentors, Mr. Best, Mr. Dalco, all of the great leaders out there, Dr. Sergio Roselle, Mr. Al Murray, all of the greats out there, they want you all to succeed, but you got to be plugged in, meaning you have to be involved in training. You have to be, present for meetings. You need to be building your list. These are essential skills, things that you need to be doing to grow, to have a successful business. Now, I'm going to talk more about what you need to do to be successful. I'm actually going to dive into that tomorrow, since we're about a half hour into this particular session. So don't miss tomorrow's session, okay? Don't miss it. But what I will do, for those of you who are curious, if you're curious about what it is that I do, I've actually been able to introduce an amazing system to close to 600 people and mentoring quite a bunch of them. And they're on their journey to building wealth, increasing cash flow. And I'm going to tell you, it wasn't by negotiating. It wasn't by trying to persuade them. They made a decision based on information that I just shared with them. And being able to share it with more people. The more people you share it with, you increase your numbers, your ratio of potential people who would join you in your business. So how many people are you speaking to daily? How many people are you following up with on a daily basis? These are some things you need to be thinking about and considering for yourself. So listen, if you want to learn more about what I do, there's a presentation that's going to happen tonight at 9:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I encourage you to plug in, to be involved, to view it. We might stream it onto Facebook. It really depends on how Facebook and Zoom is matching up, okay? Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. That's another reason why we may be exiting using Zoom for this night show, and we may be going to another platform. So stay tuned. We got to practice with the new platform first. And so you might see a couple of test runs on Facebook, so be aware of that. So listen, you can plug into the presentation tonight by going to www.goldrocks.info. Okay, ROCKS.info, goldrocks.info. And you're going to need the password. It is password protected, so make sure you inbox me or the person that shared this stream with you so you can get the password. Come on, guys. If you're really looking to activate 6 streams of income, if you're really looking forward to having better days in the future, if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, if you're looking for a better way, if you're tired of thinking, oh man, here goes Monday again, you need to get back with the person that shared this stream with you. You either want it or you don't. And it's not that we're begging you to come on board. We want you to. We don't necessarily need you, not to say it in a cocky way, but we want you to want your dreams. We want you to want your goals. And if you're ready, I'm ready. When you appear as a student, the teacher will be ready. So are you ready? I'm praying that you are, because we are. Okay, so thank you so very much. And if again you've enjoyed this stream, love it, send those hearts out there. Okay, share this out with those you care about. I'll be back tomorrow night for the TKO Live Night Show around 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So until then, I encourage each and every one of you to think, to speak, and to live leadership. Good night, everyone, and God bless.